Welcome to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. Find those streams online at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com's Facebook or on WTIM TV YouTube. I'm here in studio with the director of the Christian County Economic Development Corporation, Dick Adams. Great to have you here.
Avery, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Nice to be invited.
It is a pleasure. Let's start off with some basics. What is the Christian County Economic Development Corporation?
Well, I'll tell you, I'll give you a little bit of the history. So, you know, at the time, back in the 80s, we were attempting to get a prison in Taylorville. And what we wanted to do, we were competing against like 35 other towns who wanted the prison. What we were trying to do was to get enough donations to buy the ground and extend city utilities to it so that we could then present that to the state. We thought that would get us make it where we were competitive. And we didn't have any vehicle locally where people could make donations and that be tax deductible. The legislature had passed a bill that said, look, if you put together an economic development group and you have the top people, schools, top politicians, top leaders of the community, top people in education, if you do all of that, you can create that. So that's what we did. We created it that way. We got the money we needed to buy the ground, extend utilities, and we were successful in getting the prison. So it worked out pretty well there. After some time passed, we looked at that list and we thought, boy, this is great people. Why don't we just have this as our basis for economic development in the future? And that's what we did. So it's called the Christian County Economic Development Corporation. It's a 501c3 corporation. Gifts made to us to fund us, which are done locally and by individuals and other corporations. They're tax deductible now because we're 501c3. So that's how we function. We have a board of directors. We lay out a plan for how we're going to go about attracting new jobs in the community. And that's what we try to do.
What is the ultimate goal of the, well, shorthand at CCEDC? Thank you.
Yeah,
CCEDC.
no problem. It's hard to get the little letters there. I think the long and short-term goal, short-term, what we're trying to do, I just started the position in February. So what we're trying to do is to develop a plan that the whole county has, that governs Christian County, that kind of lays out the economic development items that we need to do to be effective in trying to create new jobs and in trying to encourage investment in Christian County. And then we'll get all of the community leaders from Christian County involved. It works best when we have lots of involvement from private citizens and from the industries that are already here and all of that type of thing. So we're encouraging them to be with us in this effort. We have a new industrial park in Taylorville, as you know, that is about up and running now. So we're kind of excited about that. We have something to sell, some ground that we can maneuver there and make it perfect for almost any industry. So we're working on it. Pana has the same kind of situation. They've got an older park, but they have some available ground. So we think it's going to be an exciting time in Christian County as we move forward.
Tell me a little bit about your background. What have you done in the past that's led you to become the director of the CCEDC?
Well, I'll tell you, as I had the opportunity to serve as mayor of City of Taylorville from 1980. Boy, you're trying to get my age. Nice job, Avery. I like that. Let's see, from 1985 to 89, and then my wife and I had children, and then I took 4 years off and then ran again in 93 to 97. So I've done that for 8 years, and it was interesting because that experience kind of, the overwhelming thing about that experience to me was that it said to me there aren't too many problems that aren't directly related to job creation and investment in your community. They're either directly or indirectly related. And so I felt that economic development is a really perhaps the most important issue in Christian County, particularly with a county of 34,000 people, 32,000 people that is in the middle of Illinois. We're centrally located. We have a good opportunity from a transportation base to attract jobs. And so I've kind of been involved with it for a very long period of time. I'd say 35, 40 years, off and on. You know, I'd get on the board and serve for a while, and then when they were doing good, I'd get off and do something else. And so I've been around it for a long time. The mayor thing probably stimulated me to be involved with it because I recognized its importance. And I think if you spoke with any of the mayors, any of the community leaders who lead Christian County, the board chairman, all of that kind of thing, I think they'd all say, hey, we gotta improve what we're doing here. So we're trying to do that.
Remind me when you started.
I started, you mean this term?
As a director.
February. We had an excellent director prior to the time that I was involved. Her name was Mary Renner. In fact, I was involved in hiring Mary Renner back very long period of time ago, and she did a great job until her retirement. And then I'm taking over for her, and it's kind of nice to follow her because she did a good job and got Taylorville in a good position. And now we want to take it to a little bit different level.
How long is the term?
The term is till they get good and fed up with me and say, hey, you know what, big boy, it's time for you to look elsewhere. No, the term is till they're fed up with me.
Okay.
So yeah.
So hopefully until you retire.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to go out. I'm about at retirement. In fact, I'm past retirement age, but I'm kind of a guy that likes to work. I enjoy the people. I enjoy working on these issues. So I'll stick around until they've said, hey, you are getting a little too old for this. We need to get somebody a little younger.
Maybe not in as many words.
They'll be pretty nice to me. They're pretty classy. I got a great board of directors, of which Randy Miller with the radio station is the president of CCEDC. John Garner, you mentioned Palmer Bank.
Right.
He's the president and CEO of that group. He's vice president and will take over as president, I think, in January of 2023. And then we have other, Amy Hagan, the community bank president of U.S. Bank. We have Chris Smith, the CEO and plant manager of the AGCO GSI plant over in Assumption, Illinois. We've got Mike Blakeman, who is a local accountant here with Pulley Martinowski and Blakeman. He's our accounting guy, and boy, does he do a great job. We've just got a good group. Ken Hart, who used to be the community bank president for People's Bank. He's worked on economic development until he retired. So we had him, but he's back helping us again. So we've got a real strong board. They know what they're doing, and we're trying to get this revved up now.
How would you describe the status of Christian County's economy as it is now?
Well, I think that my assessment of it, just from being around here for a long period of time and being in some positions where I had direct knowledge, would be that I think COVID quite naturally put the efforts at a little bit of a standstill. It was all done remotely. And I think we would probably all agree that particularly in the area of economic development, is probably not the best way to go about it. Right. It was all we could do at the time. So I think much of the momentum that we've had over the years has probably dissipated. So I think it's a matter of getting everybody back on track, get a new plan, lay it out so everybody can see what we're doing, and try to invigorate the program again so that we can move forward in a real positive way.
And that seems to be really the goal for you as director of the Christian County Economic Development Corporation.
Totally. Yeah. We, as a result of COVID, my opinion doesn't make it fact because it's my opinion, but my opinion is we were sort of laying dead in the water for a while. And now we're trying to say, okay, COVID is still a little bit of a player, but we're back in the ball game. So let's kick it in high gear and move forward.
Raise those sails and continue forward.
Exactly.
And so, we're actually running up against the break time right now. So let me reintroduce you here. That's Christian County Economic Development Corporation Director Dick Adams here on the WTIM Morning Show. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first.
WTIM. Federal observance of the Juneteenth holiday. No trading on this Monday. Closing numbers from last Friday: corn, beans, and wheat all trading lower. July corn 784.5, down 3 3/4. September corn down 4, 737 3/4. December corn down 4, 731. July beans closing Friday 1702, down 7.5. August beans down 8.5, 1622 1/4. November new crop 1537.5 down 5 3/4. July wheat 1034 1/4 down 44. September wheat down 43 3/4. 1046 3/4. Looking at July bean meal 438.10 up 840. July bean oil closing Friday 73.79. That's down 255. Again, no trading on this Monday. Federal observance of the Juneteenth holiday. You are listening to the RFD Radio Network.
I'm Sarah Van Huss, Assistant Vice President at People's Bank and Trust in Pana and Taylorville. People's Bank and Trust is proud of their longtime sponsorship of Taylorville High School Students of the Month on the many News Talk WTIM platforms on AM, FM, and online.
Hi, my name is Jessie Wright. My parents are Jeff and Jenny. I am a part of Purple Rain. I play volleyball, basketball, and softball here at Taylorville High School, and my future plans are still unsure.
People's Bank and Trust congratulates these Taylorville High School Students of the Month and wishes them the best in their continued education. We put people first at People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
You've got a pretty full schedule. The last thing you need when you're buying, building, or refinancing your home is a headache over title issues. Hi, this is Jeff Robinson with Advanced Title Group in Taylorville. We're closing in on 2 decades of successful closings, construction escrows, title searches, and title insurance services. Single-family home, farm, or business, avoid the headache. Choose Advanced Title Group in Taylorville. See us at advancedtitlegroup.com. Advanced Title Group, excellence with integrity. That's our policy.
SIU Center for Family Medicine across from Kroger in Taylorville provides complete health care to you and your family. If you're insured, underinsured, or uninsured, SIU Medicine can provide health services to all ages, including OBGYN care, annual exams, school and sports physicals, legal assistance, financial counseling, and behavioral and mental health services. Call SIU Center for Family Medicine Taylorville to schedule your appointment at 217-824-1134. That's 824-1134. Or click their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
I'm Avery Cooper here on the WTIM Morning Show. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm here in studio with Christian County Economic Development Corporation Director Dick Adams. It's great to have you here, by the way. It's such a pleasure to have you in studio.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your interest in the program. We've always appreciated Randy Miller's involvement. He's been involved in it since I've been involved in it, which is a lot of years, and now serves as president. And we've always appreciated that. And he's led us in a good direction. And now he's trying to move us forward again. So we'll move forward.
So just in my short conversation with you, it sounds like the industrial park, the new industrial park Taylorville has really picked up that momentum for Taylorville as far as economic development and whatnot. Can you tell me a little bit about the background of that industrial park and what's led you to this point?
Happy to. Taylorville had an industrial park that was located out by the airport on Route 48. We had about, I don't remember the number of acres. I don't remember the number of acres, but we had a pretty nice industrial park there. McLean is out there. Lincoln Land Community College has a new facility there. The telephone company has one, all down the line there. So it was doing fine and was working adequately, and it had the benefit of having the airport across the street. Unfortunately, we had mine subsidence that hit that area. It hit the area out by Watson Foods, which is one of our neat employers in Christian County, and kind of went across the street, across Route 48. And I'm sorry, there's another company there that does, people are very good friends of mine. I can't think of the name of the company. But
on the spot, it happens.
Yeah. And they took out a part of that building. And the problem that we had was that the mine subsidence insurance that a company can acquire is purchased from the Illinois Mine Subsidence Fund, which is a state organization, not an insurance company. So the maximum benefit that you could get if something happened to your building that was tied to mine subsidence was $250,000, was the maximum claim payout that the Mine Subsidence Fund would pay out. Well, if you're sitting out there on a 10,000 square foot building that cost $4 million for you to build to house employees and run your business, we didn't think we were a player any longer at that location because we didn't think anybody would build that kind of building and then risk all of it and only have $250,000 in mine subsidence coverage. So for that reason, that organization was called the Taylorville Industrial Development Corporation. It was a for-profit corporation. We disbanded that corporation, paid off all the stockholders, and then asked them to give the money back to us so that we could then use that money to buy a new park. And people were pretty overwhelmingly supportive of that. They understood that the mine subsidence had created a problem and probably the ground was not as advantageous for us as it was prior to the mine subsidence. So they did give the majority of it. Some didn't, some did. They gave us the money. We went out and over time ended up buying the place where we're at on Route 29. Then we were eligible for some grants and we were very fortunate. Mary Renner and the board at that time were able to get, and my number may be a little off. Please don't hold me to the number exactly. But I think we were able to get like a $700,000-800,000 grant that got the roads in, the curbs, the gutters, the sewer, water, all of the utilities so that we were ready to go. And if you go out now, it's pretty good shape. It's got a very nice road through it. I think we have something like 18, 19 lots out there. I believe something like that. They vary in size from being a half an acre lot to, I think we have one with 17, 18 acres. So we can adapt it to whatever the needs of a company are. If a company comes and they need 6 acres, we can make that happen. Right. If they come and they need 2 acres, we can make that happen. We don't have to replat the entire subdivision. So it's a really cool park. We think it's got all of the amenities that will need to be successful. It has an enterprise zone. It has a TIF district. And it has a business district operation there also. So there is funding available to help almost any industry that we find that wants to locate in that park. We may be able to work with them and help them use one of those sources of revenue to promote job creation in Christian County. Yeah. So that's kind of how we got there. Right. Now we're putting together a marketing plan for the industrial park so that we're saying the right things, promoting the things we want to talk about, and trying to get people interested in the park. So,
in short, it sounds like if there's a new business that comes into the area, CCEDC can help them find that spot and set up shop. Do I have that right?
You got it. You're exactly right. An industry that wants to look at Taylorville and create some jobs and start a new business, we have the capability of assisting them in a way that is competitive with other communities who offer similar. Back when I was mayor, it was kind of funny because a lot of people didn't think we ought to be offering incentives to lure companies to our area. But the bottom line is there's about 3,400 last time I looked, 400 communities in Illinois, and all of them are looking for new job creation. So whether you like it or not, you are in a competitive situation. And we've proven over time that we can be competitive and do the right things that make sense and have the thing work that creates jobs. So we're really excited about the new park and the opportunities that are offered there. And, despite COVID, despite the economy and all of the other variables that are, I guess we could probably agree, negatively impacting job creation at the moment, there are still people moving companies. There are still jobs being created. So we've got to create an environment where we are there when they're ready to move and we can convince them that Taylorville and Christian County is where they need to be.
That's Christian County Economic Development Corporation Director Dick Adams here on the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you so much for taking time to come on.
I appreciate being invited, and thank you, Avery.
Your stream brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark.
WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.5.